Hello Sebastien, hello Lars. It's a pleasure for me to welcome you here in our golf course in Mougins in the south of France, in the French Riviera. I'm very honored today because we have the pleasure to have Sebastien Bellin, who has an impressive, and I say impressive with a capital I, story that he will say a little bit later. We have met Sebastien some months ago in Belgium thanks to Danny Wanzele, our vice president, and Karine Imschut. Regarding the nutrition, and Sebastien used the product NORVIA, and he has amazing story with NORVIA, amazing results with NORVIA. So Sebastien, could you tell us a little bit more, and how is your life with NORVIA?
Yeah, well, my interest in NORVIA started very simply. I was looking for a plant-based protein, and I was not expecting all the other benefits, the amazing benefits that NORVIA has. So I was very intrigued by the fact that it's a plant-based protein, so easier for the body to digest. I think that as a professional athlete, maximizing your energy is very important. So the amount of food, okay, maybe you can have a big steak, but a big steak is very hard to digest.
Yeah, I see that. But Sebastien, tell us a little bit. Who are you? You're talking about sports, but I have the pleasure to know you, I know your story and so on, but the people watching us today, they don't particularly know you. So explain to us in a very short term that you have been the captain of the national team, basketball team and so on. So let us know about your background a little bit.
My background is, yes, I was already on the junior national basketball team of Belgium. And at 18, I got a scholarship to play NCAA basketball in the States for 4 years. We won a Division I conference title my last year, and I got a contract to play in Europe. I started in Italy, and I played 15 years in Italy and in Belgium. I was the captain of the Belgian national team for 5 years until I was too old to play. And then just retired from basketball. Started my professional life post-basketball, and in 2016, on March 22nd, I was at the wrong place, should we say, about five meters away from the second bomb in Zaventem, which nearly took both my legs off and resulted in a permanent handicap. So I no longer feel anything in my left leg from the knee down. I have metal all through my tibia and all through my femur, and I've lost a big chunk of calf muscle, besides the fact that I can't control my foot anymore. So like I was saying, in terms of maximizing my handicap, because I am trying to finish an Ironman in October 2016, which is 3.8 kilometer swimming. It's 180 kilometers on the bike, and it's a marathon back to back to back. And so as a handicapped athlete, that's not an easy challenge, and for me it was very important to find the fuel for that and to find the right products to help me maximize my handicap and overcome my handicap in order to achieve this.
Okay, so you are telling us that you were almost losing your two legs, and then some years later you are running for a marathon. And I mean, it's so impressive. And now I heard that you are going to go for a plain marathon, not the one for handicapped. So it's really impressive to see how you have climbed all the steps to survive, as you call yourself, a survivor, not a victim. So it's impressive to see how NORVIA products did help you. And I say help because, of course, everything is based on mental. Love, you should have fantastic mental. But how did the product help you as well?
Yeah, so for me, the most important thing was to have a product that was kind of an ecosystem. So I didn't want to start taking a product for pre-workouts, a product for post-workouts, a product for vitamins, a product for protein. I wanted one complete one that could become the major pillar of my nutritional needs. And what started out as just simply looking out there for a plant-based protein, I was lucky to find NORVIA, which in fact is the perfect product for a pre-workout, a post-workout, as well as energetic. And of course, it's a great opportunity because I have a lot of questions on why the product is so performant for Dr. Lars.
So Lars, why is the product so performant specifically for this gentleman who is using the products on a daily basis and has survived so many problems in order today to be able to run a marathon? So how did you help him?
Yes, well, it's an interesting question, and it has to do with the performance of the cardiovascular system, so both the heart and the blood vessels, and it has to do with the very strong anti-inflammatory properties of some of the bioactive substances within the soy proteins and within some other parts of the soybean, which is called the soy germ, which has a high intake of what we call isoflavones, and they provide very strong anti-inflammatory effects. They also releases a gas which is called nitric oxide, which relaxes the blood vessels, so they dilate, and that means that more blood and more oxygen and more nutrients reach all of your body, including your muscles and tendons, so that you can perform better because you have more of the nutrients and the oxygen, and the waste products, including CO2, carbon dioxide, is removed more effectively. In addition, the soy protein is very unique because it contains a lot of one amino acid, which is called arginine. Arginine also releases this nitric oxide, which dilate blood vessels, and both the arginine and the isoflavones, they affect what we call beta 2 and subgroup of beta 2 receptors in the blood vessels, but also in the airways. So it's not only the blood vessels which dilate, but it's also the bronchus and bronchioles in your airways, so which thereby can provide also more oxygen from the lungs to the cardiovascular system. So it's all interlinked, the whole body.
And that's so the cardiovascular benefits is really seen as a pre-workout because it opens up and you feel more oxygen, and the post workout is really the when the muscle fibers have been broken, is the anti-inflammatory. Okay, I had a question though, because at first, my instinct when an athlete or when anybody sees soy as the base of protein, I know now, but can you explain a little bit to me in more scientific terms why normally soy is an estrogen kicker? And that's why a lot of, especially males, stay away from soy protein, which I found this to be, with NORVIA, is the exception, since the protein does not have anything to do with the estrogen kicker. Can you explain that more in terms why that's such a powerful protein?
Yes, the isoflavones are part of what we call plant estrogens. It's that family, and previously people have thought that it's only one estrogen receptor, which is having the feminization effect in women and so forth. But there are different forms of estrogen receptors, and the plant estrogens from soy protein and the other parts of the soybean, including the soy germ, is affecting the estrogen beta receptors, which have nothing to do with any feminization effect, which is the alpha receptor, where the real estrogen have an effect in your body. So the soy components from NORVIA has absolutely no negative effect for men on affecting at estrogen levels, because it doesn't affect the estrogen alpha receptor.
Which I think is absolutely unique, because I think a lot of people my experience as a professional athlete, I stayed away from soy because of that.
Yes.
But the fact that, like I said, this is a protein based on soy that is triggered by the beta, not the alpha, I think that's one of the key ingredients and key factors of why it's such a game changer in my training every day.
Yes, and you have this amazing effect on the cardiovascular system where you improve your physical capabilities, because for your muscles you have more oxygen and nutrients, and your waste products are removed more effectively. And then you have the healing process, I call it, which is actually the anti-inflammatory effect, where your restitution period is significantly shortened. So it means that it takes a lot less time for you to be able to do proper physical exercise and to perform better both physically and mentally when taking NORVIA products.
So Sebastien, you just said that for you NORVIA it's a game changer. So tell me, how many NORVIA do you take per day? How does your life looks? Let's say your NORVIA life. How does it look like every day? What are you doing?
Yeah. So of course, training for an Ironman, it's a crazy amount of training, especially with my handicap. I have to, I have to be careful with the amount of, let's say, actual training that I do, because my body can't take that. So the training that I do has to be very good quality training. For me, if I go running 20 kilometers and it's a bad run, well, I don't have them. I don't know how many runs I have in me when I have metal all through me. Every single workout for me counts. So for me, it's about making sure that after the run, or after the training, the swimming, whatever, I recuperate very quickly so that the next training is just as good as the previous one.
Yeah, exactly.
And so for me, where it has made an absolutely incredible difference is in the recuperation. So when you run 20 kilometers, which is half a marathon, 21, which is sometimes a normal training day. Well, about a year and a half ago, I would have been sore for 3-4 days. I couldn't have moved. Now, with, of course, what I think is this recuperation power that NORVIA has, okay, it's not like I can go do it again, but the next day, I'm on the bike, I'm swimming. So I find it fascinating how fast my body recuperates, and in my daily training every day, how quickly I'm able to go from one workout to the next without feeling the lactic acid build up, the tension in my muscles. I don't feel that. No. I feel tired, but there's a difference between being tired and being sore. I feel a lot less soreness in my body, and it's NORVIA.
Yeah, and what I thought was very interesting was the data you provided to us, especially on your heartbeat. That you have a less strain on your cardiovascular system, and you can see that on how many beats per minute your heart is ticking away when you're doing a 20 kilometers run. And you were into this very nice 120 beats per minute zone, meaning not overstraining your heart, not overstraining your cardiovascular system, and that's also part of it. So that's why it's important to take NORVIA ahead of your physical.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because when you train, but this can be for at a job. The lactic acid buildup. In fact, the most important thing is how quickly does your body switch from aerobic to anaerobic. And so if you're starting to produce lactic acid very quickly in your Ironman or in your race or throughout the day, well, that lactic acid, it's like a bucket. When the bucket is full, you stop. You crash, you can't go anymore. I find that if I maintain a pace, okay, it's not easy, but it's not hard. If I maintain that, I can go for a very long time without building that lactic acid. I think that's where NORVIA has helped me a lot before, and I understand that the lactic acid, because of the respiration, because of, like you said, the vessels opening and more oxygen coming into the body, well, I'm able to sustain the effort for much more period of time.
Yes, and it's the whole cardiovascular system which works more effectively. So it's also the waste products which are removed more effectively, including the lactic acid and including the CO2. So it's the whole metabolism of the body which is improved.
So how many NORVIA shakes do you use per day?
Of course, I try, definitely I always take one before a workout, so half an hour before a workout. Sometimes, like I was telling you, Dr. Lars, if you get a good night's rest, and you have a good meal the night before, and you wake up and you go for a workout, you have a good little breakfast and you go for a workout, NORVIA will make a difference, but it's not crucial, I would say. And so even though I take it always before workouts, I will take it religiously after workout, because for me the recuperation from that workout to the next, like I said, is the most important thing. But I do take it if I know I have a 20-kilometer run or a very long, like a 60-kilometer bike ride, then I will take one before. And a lot of times what I do too is sometimes on really tough training days, I even take NORVIA during the run.
Yes,
okay.
That's with endurance races, which you're doing, you know, on bike, you're swimming these long distances and you're running marathons. Then it's also important to take it during. That will you will perform even better.
And the point is that NORVIA is negative to all the doping analyses and so on.
Yes,
right?
we tested it for hundreds of substances. Since it's all natural,
It's vegan, non-GMO.
and it contains absolutely no doping substances as well.
And that's pretty good. And you know, Sebastien, that we are going to launch in a very few days a new product called Longevity, who would be much higher into performance as the NORVIA Active Performance right now. So it's going to be an amazing product for you, because it's going to increase actually what NORVIA is doing for you now. This one is going to be something very, very high in terms of anti-inflammation, antioxidation and so on. But Lars, maybe you can say some words about the longevity products that will be even better as benefits for Sebastien and for everybody that is looking at us.
Yes, to have these benefit, as you say, which is most important for you, which is the recuperation period, to shorten that, then you need to optimize the anti-inflammatory effects of these soy components. And since the main anti-inflammatory effects from these soy components come from the isoflavones, we have worked diligently to increase the natural level of isoflavones, not extracted, but being natural part of the soybean. And we have then carefully selected parts of the inner soy bean, which is called the soy germ, where there is an abundance of these isoflavones. And then you need to know how to combine these with the proteins, the fibers and phospholipid fractions to make it work. But we have selected that so that it's actually a significant increase in these bioactive substances with these anti-inflammatory effects, which are so important for your shorter recuperation, which we have done in NORVIA Longevity. So you will have even more benefits in that respect from the NORVIA Longevity.
I can't wait.
Right, good.
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your little chat today with us, with NORVIA. Enjoy your marathon, and we are going to be with you, by heart, not physically. Good luck, and hope for you to succeed a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lars, for being there.
And thank you, Sebastien.
Thank you.
Good luck.
My pleasure.
Will be exciting.